Okay guys, so we're back. And we're back with another exciting beer. So we're back with Leffe Spring. We've polished off the Hawkstone in about 4 or 5 days. And I have to say it's probably the best beer I've had on this machine so far. So this is another exciting kegs that I'm wanting to put in. And then we've got a triple Carment to go in after that. So 3 really good kegs in a row. And we'll see how this is and rate it. And see if we get it above the rating that I gave for Hawkstone. I can't remember what I gave Hawkstone. I'll have to look back on another video, but it was quite high and it was really flavourful. So we've got, pull it across, a Leffe Spring. We're currently in beginning of June, so we're just coming out of spring going into summer. I know that Leffe Summer's out now. But it is currently out of stock, and apparently the spring is a lot better than the summer, so maybe we'll give the summer a miss. But if you've had summer, let me know. And if it were any good, maybe it's worth giving it a go. The best before date on this is November, so 5 months away. It's 6.6%, which is exactly the same as Leffe Blonde. So maybe I'll do a comparison video at some point between a bottle of Leffe Blonde and this, although the Leffe Blonde has just gone from 6.6 down to 6% the stuff in the supermarket. So we'll see if we can get a 6.6 or we'll just have to review the 6% against it. The bits that are on it are from the same as last time on the kegs, the little bits of pretzel that were smashed up when they got delivered. And I think this just says some sort of season edition. It's all in German, I think. Yeah, looks like it's all in German. So I can't really read much of this blurb. But yeah, without further ado, let's open it up. Put it in the machine, so we're just going to do the same as we always do. Maybe it'll be good if I do a close-up view on this one actually, and you can see a little bit more in detail. So we'll run through that. Yeah. So we've set up a new angle, so we're going to look directly from the front. You can see at the moment I've left the machine on. It's at 3 degrees. It's got 25 days left on that empty keg, meaning 4 or 5 days I drank that last beer. All we're going to do is pull this black tab here. It moves left and right. You just move it to the right hand side. That door opens. That then unlocks this door on the left hand side. You can then open that door as well. You're going to lift these levers are connected. You just need to lift them up. That then releases that keg from being contained in this machine, and you can hear that the fans have stopped working. There's a lot of condensation on this keg, and again, as last time, it feels like it's frozen to the bottom. So there's a bit of frost around this bottom edge, and that does feel a bit frozen. But again, I'm not going to be too worried about that as long as my beer's cold. So for my next step, I might just move my camera back over. So the next thing you want to do, all I've done is close these doors so we can see this better, is squeeze these two sides, and then that will pull off this keg. You saw a little bit of smoke there from whatever was left. That is completely empty and soaked. It's worth £5. There's no beer left in here. These are constructed where the brewer bags a beer, 5 litres, 6 litres of beer inside a bag, and then this outer casing is just to protect the bag. I think they can use these about 6 times, which is why you get £5 return on each one. So the next thing you want to do is get your next beer. You'll see that it has a black lid on with an arrow on. all you want to do is pull the arrow up. It's a bit difficult at this angle, which then breaks off that plastic, which is holding on a line. Now, last time I kept the line on because I was a line short. I have actually got a spare line this time, so I'm going to use a new line. It says this way around, open here with an arrow. That piece of plastic just pushes out and pulls off. That is the waste that you normally see that I've just thrown off, and this is the clean line. So the next thing you want to do is pull out this line. I think I'll go for a top view here so you can see what's going on. Okay, so we're at a bit of a sketchy angle, but we're above. You can see that there's a hole here, and that this pin needs to go in there. Before we do that, we press this blue button there, which then releases this line. This line is the old line and can be pulled out. And as I said, I've used that on 2 beers now, so it's probably not great, and we might as well have a clean line since this is a decent, we hope, a decent expensive beer. You just push this black tube through the hole down here. There's an arrow there to show which way it goes. That then pushes in and lines up with a hole here, which then you push through. When you push through, it's going to click in place like so, and then it's ready to fit. Now this pin here goes in this hole here, so you either have to have it this way or this way, allowing you to pick it up with the handles. So all we're going to do is put it down in the middle and then push down hard on it. And you heard that piece of that carbonation come through? That was just it piercing through to show that it's now locked in place and it's on. So the next stage is to put it back in this machine here. So all I'm going to do is pick it up with both handles and put it in this machine, and we'll change the view. Right, we're back down on ground. I'm going to open this case back up like it was before and pull this keg in. So you'll see on this keg it has this little slot on the back. You'll see, hopefully in here, let me just check. Yeah, you'll see this grey piece of plastic at the back has the same slot but the negative version of it. So when you put this in here, that handle has to be up. So this is the same position it was before we were up there. We're going in that slot there with this piece here. So all you need to do is put that on the round base, and this slot is just going to push backwards into there, and now it's in. And the last step is to pull these levers down. That locks it in place, and then we should hear it kicking in. So that's the machine registering that it's now got a new keg in it. Left door shut, right door shut. It's jumped from 25 days, what it was on the old keg, to 30 days. Every keg gets 30 days. If you need more days, say you've run down and you're out of days. If you press this plus here, it goes back up. I'm not sure what happens if you just leave it on 1 or 0, how low it goes. Don't let it go that far, just drink. You can see it's got a full bar here, which means it's got the full 10.5 pints in. And as soon as you start taking a pint out, mine's reading correctly. I know there's been a few problems when I've been looking on the Facebook group, but each cell is like a pint. You get to this bottom one, mine is a little bit sketchy. I normally get 1.5, 2 pints out of that bottom bar, but that's how I register how much is in it. So it's gone in, it was in at 8 degrees and it's dropped to 7. All I'm going to do now is leave this keg in this machine for a few hours, and then I'm going to come back and review this beer. The other thing to know is the keg was already cold when it went in the machine, so the keg was at 3 degrees, and I just did that by putting it in the fridge for a couple of days. when I saw this going down, I thought let's get something in as a backup for the weekend. And yeah, that's how to install a keg. Now, next part, I'll be back to review it. I'll try to get a glass from somewhere to do it some sort of justice. And we'll talk about what style of beer it is, head retention and all that lot. Okay, so it's Friday evening now, early evening, late afternoon. It's at 3 degrees. It took not too long, a couple of hours. And I've got myself a Teku glass, which is a little bit nicer than the other glasses I've been using. I would have liked one of the chalices, like the Abbey beer glasses that you get with Leffe, but I don't have one of them at the moment. And this recommends a load of different beers down the sides. It's one of my favourite glasses to use, so we'll pour 2/3 of a pint into here and see what it's like. So I'll do that from sitting down here so you can see what's going on. So I normally pull through just a little bit, just to wet the glass a bit. The glass is already wet because I've just washed it. Side. Something funny looks like it's going on with the head, but I think it is just where I've washed the glass. So I've again poured a massive head on this. I've hit 1/3 of a pint rather than 2/3 of a pint. So I'm definitely doing something wrong when I'm pulling these beers through. I know someone recently put in the comments that they throw away the first part that comes through, but I'm a bit too tight to throw stuff away, so, and I didn't want to just down it, because then that plays with that initial taste and smell. So I'll let that settle. I'm just going to pop some food in the oven, and I will be back to top this up, and then we can have a proper review of it. Right, whilst I was putting some chips in the oven, I thought I'd have a look on PerfectDraft website. This keg is now sold out, Leffe Spring, and as it's a seasonal edition, I'm not sure if it'll actually be coming back until next year. The price of the keg is £37.90, so it's one of the more expensive kegs. You can get your £5 back and some beer tokens and whatnot. So it's not cheap, it's £3.20 a pint roughly. I just wanted to read this description. So it says on PerfectDraft's website, to finally have this beer in the UK is a true event as the spring beer, also known as Lente Bière or Bière de Printemps, is usually only available in France, Spain or South America, so we're extra excited about this one. The aroma is slightly floral with a hint of cherries. The taste is very refreshing, almost palate cleansing experience, which carries those fermentable cherry notes along with some subtle spicing. So it is an Abbey beer. I will top this up so you can see it properly now. That were a big fizz, that. And we've got ourselves an ice cream. What can you see? You don't want to see that logo, do you? So, it's an Abbey beer, the same as Leffe Blonde. It's 6.6%, the same as what Leffe Blonde used to be. Leffe Blonde now being 6%. So I'd class it as a strong golden Belgian ale, which is what this glass says it's recommended for. We've got ourselves half a pint in here. smells exactly the same as what Leffe Blonde smells like to my nose. Exactly the same smell as Leffe Blonde. It's definitely thick, you can't see through it. It is an amber colour, golden amber colour. Very clean, white, thick head. Like that is a lot of froth to be able to stick over one edge. I'm just wondering if we're actually going to get a cherry note through, so how do I do this? It tastes quite thin. It's like drinking water. Very smooth. Very well hidden. 6.6% ABV. No throat burn, no burn at all. Flavour wise, I get the same as Leffe Blonde I was picking up on. I pick up on them floral notes. I'm not getting any cherry. I don't know if anyone's tried this and getting cherry. I mean, if I really think about it, maybe. I mean, if it's there, it's very subtle. I really have to think about it. So, carbonation, there's quite a lot of carbonation, and it's really, really nice beer. If you like blondes, I know I did a Ethelgem on here. I did, have I done one on this one yet? I'm not sure. I did something else on this Krups machine. I did a Gandalf IPA on the Krups machine. I did one, forgot the name of it. It starts with a H, I think. And obviously we've got a triple Carmen to put in after this one, unless we want a break from an Abbey beer, and I'll find something else. I did get sent from PerfectDraft a Camden Pale to replace the one that broke. When that keg first came out, I reviewed it the day I got it on the release day. It went a bit not right, pear-shaped. If you've not seen it, go and have a look at that review, because it's probably going to make you have a laugh. But as for this, highly recommend this. There's a lot of flavour in there. A lot of floral flavours, tiny bit of spice in there, like a spiced fruit. I can't get the cherry thing out of my head, but it's so subtle. It's obviously, it sticks a little bit to the glass. I don't know if that's because my glass isn't the cleanest of glasses. But there is so much carbonation chasing that head. And yeah, it's 20 degrees outside, so I think I'll be enjoying a couple of these in the garden with my pizza and chips, which probably doesn't do this justice, but cheers until the next one. Thank you. If you like these videos, give it a like. I'm going to start doing some canned stuff. So if you want to see more canned beer shop, craft beer stuff, yeah, subscribe and they'll be coming very soon. Cheers.